Can I have a
6:30. So
yeah.
I'm going to call the meeting to order. First, we'll go over old business, and a motion to approve the September meeting minutes.
Um yeah.
I move to approve the meeting minutes.
I second it.
And then for the newest business that I've got to share is we launched the Facebook business page. So that should hopefully help with us getting marketing through that Facebook business page. That way we can get the word out a little bit easier. This will be stuff that's, not in our general group on Facebook, just so we can help connect a little bit more with some of the groups out there. And then Vice President report.
Okay. Don't have too much to report other than our memberships. We've got a total of 206 members, which is really awesome. 30 of those are junior members. I love to see such a great standing in junior membership. That is amazing. 116 are basic members and 60 are professional members. And that is all I have.
To Bree, I will be sharing the group link. I mean, sorry, not the group link, the page link in the group tonight. It's American Caternix Breeders Association. It's linked to our email.
Yeah. I
And
think it has the same
you're
logo as
welcome.
the group.
Yeah, it's the same logo as the group. It's the same photograph that's on the web page. But I think it'll help us get some show information and just, hopefully drum up some excitement. Um, let's see. And then secretary report.
I have nothing.
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
Treasury.
Um so we are sitting at 8,392 cents. Operating budget is 1484.31. Capital budget. I can't read my own handwriting sometimes. 161.25. Program budget 100 even. Reserve fund 1484. We are in transition of switching over to Capital One, where Leah and I will both be on the account. Capital One's probably our most nationwide option, and we voted on, I think, in September,
Yes. Yeah.
to do that transition. So that'll help us out with the changing of powers.
Yes, it will a lot. And then is that all you have?
For now.
Okay. All right. And then for general board updates, anybody from general board have anything to speak up on? And do we have Mason tonight?
We
I
do
don't
not.
believe we do. Okay. So he would be doing junior membership.
I'll shoot him
Um
a message real quick.
yeah, that would be great. And then I'll touch base with Kelly. How's things going with the welcome committee? I know you've been away because of your husband and all of that.
I think so. Sorry, we're like running through a drive-through. And I kind of like half heard it because I had to take my headphones off. But
There you're good.
we're kind of at a standstill because like the welcome thing to like welcome people and give the information about like who you guys are and like just general information about what committees to join. That auto goes out. But the rest of the committee and me can't really do anything until which I said you might have already said, like the Facebook group thing gets figured out. And so when that gets figured out, then we can like use social media. And we were going to meet with Aaron, like with the marketing committee and kind of collab to like do that. But
Great.
until that gets kind of determined, they don't really do anything because there's, you know what I
Got
mean?
it.
Like,
Yep.
yeah.
All
So
right. Cool. And then let's see until you hear back from Mason. Um, so let's see, the upcoming shows, is Jen Jordan with us? I don't think I see her with us either.
No.
Oh, here's Mason.
Oh, I see his name now.
Yeah, I just saw him. Hey, Mason.
He's old. He has to
Hello,
figure out how to work
everyone.
electronics.
Hello.
Hi.
I have to say I forgot, and I'm in the middle of doing quail water, but we'll get it done.
All right. I just didn't know if you had any junior member updates for us.
Not many.
Okay. All right. I know I know that Jen had shared some information in the group about the upcoming shows. So she was recently at Blue Bonnet, and that did go out in the newsletter that Christina made. And then there's also been shared the show that's coming in Kentucky, the Paducah show. I don't know, Rebecca, do you have any information on that one?
It is on February 21st, and it's in, I believe, La Center, Kentucky.
That's
It's
right,
at
they
a
moved it.
Yeah, new location. I just messaged Lindsay to see if she wanted to jump in and talk about it. She is a new member, and I am super excited that they're going to allow us to have quail in the show again. They were literally one of the very first shows to allow quail at an APA sanctioned show. So it is really great that they're going to do it again. And let me see if I can pull up the information. I can tell you who the judge is.
If I can butt in for a second, I've got a little information on that too, because I've communicated with Lindsay a little bit,
Fantastic.
and kept up
I've
on.
talked to Lindsay too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but I know for a fact we're gonna have a junior member in attendance. Ava Burrows of the Cluckety Homestead is gonna come down. It is in La Center. It's, I think, maybe 30 minutes from Paducah, which is where it was the previous time. It's a different judge than last time. I believe I'm going to be shadowing the judge and kind of talking him through Coturnix quail and what we look for and all that.
Awesome.
Um, yeah, he's dead on with that. And it is in La Center. And La Center is just about directly south of Monkey's Eyebrow, Kentucky, if you want to have a picture with a fun road sign. And that's a real place. And just fun fact, Paducah is dead center between Monkey's Eyebrow and Possum Trot. But
Oh my God.
I know you can't make it up.
No.
But the building we've got for the show is actually way larger than we had last time. So basically, space is not an issue. And the only concern we have, just in general, not related to quail necessarily, is large fowl cages. So if anybody's got a handful of those in their back pocket, I'd love to hear about it. But we do look forward to everybody coming. And I will say, if you are planning on cooping in Friday night, or staying in the area, there is a mom and pop motel in La Center, and they told me it's $68. And I feel like it's probably a $68 hotel. And I would consider looking at Mayfield or Paducah just for somewhere to stay closer. Um, that, and then we added quail awards to the awards that we were ordering for the show, just because we didn't want to leave y'all out. So that way they will be matchy with all the rest of our stuff. I am working with the software company. The software company I used last time has actually closed, and that broke my heart because now I'm back to this poultry sites nonsense. Their customer service is paltry at best, but they're not sure if they're going to be able to add Coturnix as a division like the guy did for me last time, because that was a whole software engineer that like made it perfect for me. So we may be old school clerking, but I'm sure we can handle it. Not worried. And yeah, any other questions, comments, concerns?
Lindsay, what's the cutoff for entering?
I'm going with 2:15 for right now. And we all know that I will probably end up pushing that back a couple days just because I don't know. I just try to give people as much time, especially with not being in a real constraint with the Bantam cages, that I'm not just real worried about it, but no earlier than the 15th.
Okay. And then for people who have never shown before,
Uh-huh.
can you mention like what people should bring or
Yes,
maybe something to expect or something like that?
absolutely. With any kind of new show, um, hang on just a sec. Hey, Carter, can you call Grandma? Call Grandma. Yeah. My mother's called me twice and left me a voicemail, so we'll put my son to calling her. But um, for a new exhibitor, bring your patience, your confidence, all your things. Just check on her, and you'll be fine. I am the official big sister of Exhibition Poultry, and you will have a great time. So you'll bring your birds. We provide shavings, water cups. I've got feed that I'm donating. I'm a combat rep. And so I will have the wild flush feed there. That's a mini pellet. So if your birds are picky like mine and like a crumble, they'd have to go to all flock for the day. But that then in a show bag, and I have no problem making a post for the group of just things in case people can't make it. Um, I always have a handful of Walmart bags, paper towels, baby wipes, a silk rag, and some feather sheen spray, always handy. You want to have just enough to like for an emergency cleanup. I like to have a spray bottle to lay feathers down. And then if you are at the store, grab you an indoor plant watering can with a little bitty pointy pour spout, because then you can go in between your cage bars and top your waters up without opening them and potentially having a loose bird. Um, that's about it. If you've not shown at an open poultry show before, we will get you through it. I promise. You will have fun.
Lindsay, just wanted to let you know, I know that for sure Mason and I will be there.
Yeah.
Leah and Aaron
I'm
are
gonna try
both
to
looking at
come.
coming.
Uh-huh.
So if you need anything at all, please reach out. If you need any help, I'm happy to help clerk. Whatever you need, just let me know and we'll help make it happen for you.
Those are famous last words. I am a master delegator. I was a show secretary before I was even an exhibitor, and that's mostly because I'm bossy as heck or aggressively helpful, depending on how you look at it, and a project manager at heart. So yes, I can send some things your way. We are particularly looking for silent auction donations, and I've even kind of been watching some of the thrifty yard sale sites and stuff, trying to grab like any of the vintage poultry stuff that's cute right now, the 90s geese with the blue bonnets, hens on a nest, whatever, to put in the silent auction. So we'd also be taking like egg donations and things like that. Then I have been trying to get to a point where I can start requesting donations for either door prizes or prizes and getting that put together. We've gotten some covered, but I would still like to get more for showmanship, just in general, not related to just quail, because I want to make the kids some really cool buckets of like prize materials and things. So if you know anybody that wants to donate or that you can get a donation from, also we are selling ads in our show catalog, and those are $25, and you can do that online. I'll add our website with the links and stuff to the group.
Wonderful.
And that makes like a business card size ad in our show catalog. And yeah, I've made everything online. So if anybody ever needs help setting up shows or clubs or things like that, I mean, we've got full electronic entry payment. Now, I do have my contingent of folks that don't want to do that, but they call me, we work it out. Pretty sure my phone number is written on a Tractor Supply bathroom wall. But we get it done, and I am very proud to be the big sister of Exhibition Upholstery in West Kentucky, because people say, oh, there's drama, oh, there's not on my watch. There shall not be. We will have fun. So, but yeah, I will send a list of things I need out and about.
I do
Great.
have a question.
Yes.
Are we going to be able to, if we choose, sell the birds out of the cages like last time?
So I'm kind of still tossing that around in my head
All right.
because we will have sales coops available. We will also have sales areas, with sales areas being, I don't know, if somebody wanted to go sell their quail egg scissors or something, more for like a merch hard goods type of thing. Whereas the sales hall obviously would be for sale birds that are not in the show. I had it in my head to make some sort of coop card for birds that are in the show and available for sale so that that could be communicated, but also not give away too much about the owner that would make it like could theoretically be perceived as unfair, you know? Maybe I'm
Right.
overthinking it, but I
And
have
maybe we just say, take them down during judging and you can put them back up or whatever, if
I
that's what you're concerned about is bias.
well, and I even thought about just like even just a little for sale tag and it's please see exhibit or whatever, and that way unless somebody takes the time to go through the catalog and figure it out, or we can take them down. I mean, I don't know how many we'll have, so we'll get through it. We always do. But I have gotten so far in that plan. I looked to see what the template is for the paper I was going to use. So that's where I'm at with that. But I do plan for that to happen,
All right. Thank you.
especially if they're your black banded.
Yes, I'm definitely going to try to bring a banded black or two.
Well, and some for me that I need to buy.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, anybody else? Because I could real quick turn this into the Lindsay show.
I will
If
butt in and
there,
say, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was going to say if there aren't any more questions, I just wanted to say thank you, Lindsay, for telling us about the show.
Oh, no problem. I mean, I can't wait for y'all to see me since y'all snuck me in as a quail mama. I still can't believe it happened. Now I've got quail everywhere. I'm a Sarama lady.
Whale math is as bad as chicken math. Actually,
Yeah.
probably worse because they're smaller. So I'm so glad that you caught that disease, the quail disease. Yep.
It all started because I had a solo hatch Sarama chick that looked sad and cold, alone. There was nobody else that had teeny tiny chicks, and I called my friend Sammy, who lives like 20 minutes from me. I'm like, I need to borrow a quail. And there, and that's when it happened.
Aw.
All it takes is one.
Yep.
All right.
Feel free to reach out if you have any questions on Facebook.
So then we'll move to any other general membership. I know I'm sorry.
Real quick, did Mason have a question before?
It wasn't a question, just more of a tidbit of someone who did their first poultry show with the last one. I was just going to say it's super low pressure. It's meant for fun. And if you don't win, then I pinky promise you will have just as much fun as if you did win. I was extremely shocked that I won last time, and it did make it a lot more fun, but I had a ton of fun even before I found out that I had a winning bird with me. It's low pressure, there's tons of people to help, and you get to talk about quail to a bunch of people who have never talked to quail before. So,
Awesome. So I was going to open the floor to general discussion. I do know that I believe Brent wanted to speak about an upcoming project of his.
So I don't know if everybody's been kind of seeing the posts. We're working on kind of a community, or what we're calling a community research project. It will be ran through our website, which is zerogquailfarms.com. There is a section in the free members area that will allow you to upload any of your hatch data that you want. And basically what we're doing is we're comparing and starting to track more data between eggs shipped from low altitude that are then hatched at high, and then eggs that are laid at high altitude going down to low. We're trying to make it, and I know this is not going to be a true scientific study, but more of a real world study and look to where we can start trying to help our customers that are in these different areas to have a higher success rate. But yeah, we have a write up on our Facebook page as well as on the actual website to give you more of the instruction and more of the kind of who, what, and why on it. So yeah, that's all I got really on it.
Great. And then were you going to share some of that in the group too as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm posted in the group once we get all that set up.
Great. Awesome.
Ask a quick question. What do we consider high altitude? Is it that 1,000 feet or higher, or is it at a different barometer?
So really what most of the research that we've seen so far, because we've been looking at this about the last 2 years, is it appears from other poultry that anything that's a 500-foot elevation change impacts one way or the other. We're at 5,000 feet where we're at, so we're kind of higher than a lot of people are for most of this stuff. But we also hatch at another location that's at 10,000 feet. And I can tell you that what we do here at 5,000 doesn't work at our 10,000 location. So that's kind of where in the actual spreadsheet, there's sections to allow you to indicate where you were at, who your eggs came from, to where we can look at that as well. I'd say probably if you're at a 500 to 1,000 foot change, that's something that would be worth, taking a note at.
You've intrigued me. I'm in a unique situation. I'm at about a 350, 400-foot elevation. My in-laws are at 1,200 feet. So you've piqued my curiosity and maybe trying to work out something of getting something set up for them where it's not even shipping involved, but just even locally, if that 500 to 600-foot difference would make any kind of an influence on it.
Right. And that's kind of what we're looking at. Theoretically, eggs that are laid at the lower altitude are going to have different humidity restrictions and needs due to the pore size of the eggshell, everything like that. The other factor with that that we are trying to look at as well is also the impact of the true shipping. It's something that we all have to kind of consider, as we're all trying to expand our reach and, expand to where everybody's located at.
Great. Does anybody else have questions for Brent?
That's a whole geeky topic that I'm now all of a sudden very invested in, and I'm on your website.
It's on there. It's on there in a couple of spots. The main write-up, if you go in and actually log in and create an account, which is totally free, you'll see that there's a section that's called the Elevation Project. And that's where the write-up and the main research that we've done is getting dropped into. We have full citations for all this stuff on what's led us to look at this. We already have 26 submissions from my last count. So it's starting to plug along pretty well.
I don't really sell shipped eggs and probably shouldn't be sharing any shipped eggs, but if you need any help with data analytics or things like that, I'm a spreadsheet nerd. I make them for fun. So feel free to reach out.
Yeah, it's not a problem. And you can even do, hatching your own eggs. We take our eggs up to 10,000 feet and see what they do with the same incubator, the same eggs that we hatch down here. And that's building even more data points. Our location that we're doing it at that altitude is only an hour and a half from here. So you're still getting a little bit of traveling and ship issues, especially considering how bad our Colorado roads are, but that's just kind of adding to more of the data points as well. And then I think Leah's seen the write-up, and I've sent it to Aaron, Kelly, all of you guys have kind of copies of it floating around as well.
Yeah.
All right.
I think Miss Ava's next.
Yeah, Ava.
Hi, I'm Ava, and so recently. So back in August, I entered in my county's 4-H fair for showing and for market quail, and I ended up getting grand champion quail.
That's exciting.
And then recently in Christmas time, I reached out to Hatching Time and was able to get them to donate me the T20 cabinet incubator.
That is so
That's
amazing,
great.
Ava. And also happy birthday.
Oh, thanks. Oh yeah, my market quail actually sold for $500 too for the one pen.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness, that's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So I have something. Um, where are we at on the official standards? Because I think we're approaching the 2-year mark on the draft. Where are we gonna go? We haven't had any updates from the standards committee in quite some time. I think our general board, Michael Rose, hasn't been on in like at least 3, but possibly 4 meetings. Um, I've reached out to several smaller show type area things in my area, and they want to see not a draft. They want to see a finalized SOP so they can present it to their judges. And I mean, in the past year, our updates have just been it's in progress. It's the only closed committee we have, and it's the only committee we really don't have any progress with as an organization. It's stagnant. So I think we need to vote on opening that up and have more experienced quail people having inputs in there. I don't really feel that we didn't necessarily have opinions from outside the United States, considering we are an American-based quail organization. So their body types and a lot of their color mutations are not available in the United States. So their opinions are where they're valuable in some respects, but they're not really needed in an SOP for American-based quail organization.
We can definitely open that up for discussion.
And I mean, general board member that doesn't attend meetings, how do we handle that? I mean, board members typically, if you miss 3 consecutive meetings, you're out.
I believe he was at the last meeting that we had, the last quarterly meeting.
And
He
the
hasn't
meeting
been at any
before.
since I've joined.
I've never seen him at a meeting either.
Yeah.
Because it got brought up the last 3 that I've been at that he wasn't there, and the update was just given by Leah.
So I'm not sure that this is appropriate for discussion, especially in regards to one particular member. I feel like it's pretty targeted. So I think that this should have been brought forward and put on the agenda, or it should be brought to executive board. That's my personal feeling.
I don't think Aaron was bringing it as that as at him. It
It's
was
just the
board.
whole the committee as a whole has not moved forward. There has been no progress,
Yeah,
and
and I think that's appropriate, but when you start mentioning one member who's not here to defend themselves, I don't think that's appropriate. It's just my personal opinion. So y'all can disagree, but we can discuss, executive committee can discuss that, Aaron, if you want to bring it. In regards to a particular member, but I think the only appropriate thing to discuss would be what you're talking about right now, which is opening up the standards committee.
yeah,
I don't even know who's on that committee, to be honest.
it's the most secretive committee we have.
Well, who's on it? Do we know? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's run by Michael. Yeah.
Well, is Michael the only one on it?
He was working on bringing some other people in, but I have to see where he was at with that.
So I think this is a discussion for executive board, especially, I mean, I would agree, Aaron, if there's only one person on it. But I think we should, if that's the case, that particular discussion probably should be held with executive board. Opening it up, I think I'm not sure why it was closed. Aaron, are you asking to put more members on it? Are you
Yeah,
asking
I want
to,
forward progress.
right? So are you asking to like, we need to vote new members onto it and make it open?
Yeah,
The,
we
okay,
need whatever we need to throw at it, because there's several experienced quill breeders within our organization that
right,
I think we could fast forward and expedite the process, because we're approaching the 2 years that the
right.
draft was made. And in the draft, it says it's going to be reviewed in 2 years, and a minimum of 2 years, and then potentially set in stone as the of perfection. So that would be so. I mean, there hasn't been any updates that I could find,
Oh, I agree. There
close to
haven't
two
been any
years.
updates. I thought Bree was on it too. Bree,
The
you,
last updates that were given to me were the ones that I had shared previously about they were looking at some of the, how to group the color standards. That was the
That
last
was
discussion.
in the show committee, which I'm not super active in the show committee. I stepped down from the standard committee when I stepped down as president. I didn't feel I could work well with Michael.
okay, I didn't, no, nobody, okay.
Yep, that's okay.
All right,
That was
so then we need to add, then we definitely need to open that up if we only have one member. I mean, I would agree. So I'm
Yeah,
not
definitely.
sure how to handle it because there is a process for committees. Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I think we can vote today to review it, have executive committee, executive board, e-board review it and open it up for new whatever
Yeah, and I'll make that
new
motion.
participation.
Yeah, I'll
Does
make
that
that
make sense?
motion
Is
to
that what
open
you're
it.
looking for, Aaron?
so Melissa, on the welcome, Kelly, you correct me if I'm saying this properly, but on the welcome email, there's the list of committees that you could join,
Mhm.
and the standards committee is the only one that no one's able to join, and I think we're leaving a lot of valuable
Mhm.
experience out that could potentially expedite it.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
don't,
I think I
I
put
don't,
on there that Michael was the head of it, but I can't even remember. I might have taken it off entirely because
I
it
haven't
was
Yeah,
seen it come
I thought
specifically
through.
told to
it was
me
supposed
that it was a
to be on
closed
there.
committee. So I think I took it off entirely.
no, it's never been a
It's never
closed
been
committee,
closed.
and it should
Yeah.
be included on that email. I don't know where the idea of it being a closed committee is
Because
from.
I was specifically told it's
Who
a
were you
closed
told that by,
committee.
Kelly?
I thought we weren't okay. Here's the other thing that this is relevant for you to address before I say things. How do we know? There's a lot of rules all over the place. How do we know what's appropriate to say? Because you just said name dropping wasn't. So now you want me to drop some specific names of
Actually, what I
people?
said was
No, I'm
targeting
just
one
asking
member to try and
how
take
we
him. Can I
know.
finish, Kelly? What I said was targeting one member because he wasn't appearing at meetings and then mentioning should he be removed was inappropriate.
Okay,
That's
so
my
how do
personal
we know
feeling.
as members what we're allowed to ask you and what is appropriate that all the membership is aware of?
So
Like, how
there's
do we
gonna,
know where that line is so that we
well, you
don't
could
get in
def,
trouble?
so nobody got in trouble. That's just my personal
I'm
opinion. I think
I'm just saying there are a lot of rules, so I want to make sure I'm not overstepping where I'm supposed to. And I think other people in the group that obviously don't unmute for various reasons may want to know too what we're allowed to unmute and be like, hey, I have an opinion on this because it's paid membership. We should all have an opinion. But
right.
where the line is between you guys being the executive board and where us as general members is not very clear, at least to me.
Okay, can I answer?
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay, so everybody has access to the rules and everybody has access to the bylaws, and that's your first go-to. Number one. Number two, everybody knows that an agenda is put out and everybody knows when the next meetings are. So if you have something like this that you want to bring up that is a big discussion like this is, then somebody needs to reach out to the secretary, which is currently me, and let me know to put it on the agenda. Then nobody is caught off guard and we can discuss it appropriately. That's how you get it discussed. So
So we
reach
reach
out,
out to
let's get
you.
it on the agenda, whoever the secretary is, which is me right now,
Yeah.
and get it put on the agenda. And generally speaking, so that agenda, I mean, you can reach out to me whenever if you want it on the next meeting's
I need to
agenda.
add you. Are you on Facebook, or is there like an email that you want people to like?
You can
I
send
don't
it.
have an easy way to access you, so I'm like, I'm not sure actually how to. I don't even know your last
It
name.
can
So.
it can go to like the ACBA email, but I
Oh,
do
okay.
know, yeah, I do know Melissa is on Facebook. I don't know. But
I'm happy
it
to, Leah, you have my email address. I think that is actually a good point. Those should probably be published on the website with our bios. I'm not sure if they are not.
I would have to check.
Yeah,
And
but
as far as the closed committee thing, I believe so. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus because I'm not 100% sure. But in my mind, I was 100% sure because I wouldn't have put it that way if I had it. But I'm like
okay,
100% sure in my mind that Leah or Rebecca, one of you guys, had asked me not to put it there. It was like a discussion so that Michael didn't have to tell people they couldn't be on it because it was his choice because it's his committee. And
well,
so
that's
that's
interesting.
the way I understood it. So I can totally fix it. I could go put it on there and put reach out to Michael. That's not a big deal. Like it's fixable. Like you literally push the button and it deletes it and then you just add stuff.
Perfect.
So
I think that's the solution, especially since, I mean, if you don't know for sure, either way, I don't think it matters. If Aaron is saying and everybody wants to fix it, then that's all we do. So put it back
yeah.
on there. I think Rebecca and Leah already said, put it back on
Okay.
there.
I think I just need a good email for him, like where he wants people to reach out to him at, or if you guys wanted someone to reach out to one of you guys. Um,
Well, I don't
because
think we
that's
need
how it
that
was
right now
before.
to open it back up. If you just want to put it back on, we don't,
No,
I,
that's what I was
there's
saying.
still,
That's the only thing I need is just his email. That's all.
well, okay, so membership right now in that is unresolved because the whole thing that Aaron just broached was opening it back up and adding new members. So I think, Rebecca, do you want to address, are other people's email addresses on there for each committee,
Yeah,
Kelly?
I think so. I need to go double check because I sent it as an auto email and I checked it when the elections went to make sure we were all like I just changed Aaron as the permanent treasurer, but I think everybody's emails are on there and it just says reach out individually so that people don't have to like find them on Facebook.
All
I
right,
just have
well,
to go look. Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
definitely fix the issue for the secretary because lots of things, especially number one, everybody always can access every e-board member through the general email,
Yes.
period. So nobody necessarily needs to have direct access to each e-board member. And I don't have a problem putting mine on there, but I don't know if I want 200 people reaching out to me personally. If a member has something that needs to be added to the agenda, I think it's appropriate to either put it through the general email address because all e-board members have access to that. I'm personally okay with utilizing my personal email, but I think that that's going to be an officer preference. So, and I will say, if it gets misused, I absolutely will withdraw that. So, but Kelly, if you want to write down right now for everybody who's here, I'll tell you what my email is, if that's quicker.
Um, I've got a couple of things. One, I do believe that it was voted on by the executive board members that when Michael became the leader of the show committee, that Michael did tell us that he was not available on Wednesdays. And we did vote as executive board members to allow him to not have to be at these meetings because, and he told us ahead of time. So it was valuable for him to be the leader of the show committee. And that has never been a closed committee. I'm not sure about the miscommunication there, but anybody can join that. And I'm sure Michael would be happy to have the help. As far as like where we're at with it, and I'm not on the committee, so I may be, speaking about something I'm not familiar with, but we were going to have 2 years for people to bring up things that they wanted changed. The standard is published right now on the website, and anybody can look at it. And that 2 years, we actually pushed it forward a little bit, faster than, we had even said we were going to. But the 2 years was for people to look at it and go, hey, you know what? I think I would, it might be good for us to change this, or maybe we should adjust that. And that before we kind of like set it in stone. So I don't know that there actually was going to be a whole lot of progress with it. The parts that were going to be worked on were, adding a color standard, or like Leah just mentioned with, something else about breaking it down or whatever. But the actual standard is already written, and it's just sitting there just waiting for anybody to throw their hands up. Yeah, exactly. And so we were giving people time within, and that time was set, for people to decide what, is there anything that wanted to be changed at any point. Since there hasn't been any changes made, we could change it from being a draft form into being, the full SOP.
So you, in those 2 years, nobody has come forward.
Not a single person that I know of.
All right. Well then, yeah. Okay. Kind of hard to complain about it if nobody's come forward.
Go ahead, Brent.
I just want to bring up a couple of things real quick before we start jumping on each other. I'm looking at the welcome email. That group is not on there. The only ones that are on there is the welcome committee, marketing committee, newsletter committee, show committee, and youth committee. So if that was supposed to be on there, then that needs to get corrected. And I'm not saying it's on Kelly's fault, but if that's what was publicized, we have no clue that committee even exists, or let alone the fact that we're supposed to be able to go in there and update it. Because nowhere on our website does it actually say it is open for members to go in and make adjustments. The second thing that I want to point out is that you guys are jumping everybody about an agenda. Guess we better look at what we sent out on the email, because the meeting agenda literally is blank. So, if we're saying, hey, this is what we're going to do and this is our procedural on it, guess we better start following our own shit then, huh?
I'll have to check that. I might have missent. That's the only thing I can come up with. Yeah, because the paper I have in front of me is, what I've covered tonight.
I can tell you that the agenda, I was actually on a Zoom with Leah to help her attach the agenda to the email. So if it didn't get attached, then that was an error that occurred. But it was like literally, I was walking her through the process, and like showed her how to attach the link. So if it didn't get attached, it was a mistake. It wasn't any kind of,
Hey, Brent, when did you notice that it wasn't attached? When did you notice that the agenda wasn't attached?
When you started saying, oh, well, we have to follow an agenda. That's when I went and looked, okay, well, if we're going to follow an agenda, then where's the agenda publicized at?
Right. So apparently it was a
so
mistake.
I did attach it to the email yesterday. And if it didn't go out attached, I'm not sure why that didn't
I'm not
occur.
even seeing the agenda listed even on the Facebook. So it's on multiple spots that it wasn't provided.
Okay, so this time there was a mistake. I think everybody's
I can pull up the last 3 because it wasn't on the last 3 emails I've attended.
Would you pull up the last
Sure.
3? And what I would like to know, is this the first time that you're pulling up those last 3?
Yeah.
Have you looked at them before?
Nope. Other than when to see when the actual meeting was.
Then I'm not sure what the issue is. If you have
because Melissa, you're jumping people for saying that we're not following an agenda when there's no publicized agenda.
Actually, that isn't what I said, Brent. What I said was Kelly asked me, how do we get something, how do we make this discussion happen, basically? And what I said is, you need to reach out to me to get it put on the agenda. Your complaint is completely separate. Your complaint
It is
is there's
not
no
on
agenda
the.
attached.
Hey, can I bust in for just a second? I just opened up the email, and if you scroll to the bottom, it says meeting agenda, and I just clicked on it, and it took me to it. So
I'm literally
Wow.
looking
it's
at it on my
there.
phone right now. There's nothing showing there.
Scroll to the bottom of the email
Right.
under
We're
the sign off. It says meeting
okay.
agenda. I just opened the email and clicked on it. It is there.
I
Okay,
saw
so
the
it's
agenda
it's
as
not
well.
actually written, is what you're saying.
Wait,
Click
It's
who
on
just
saw
on
it.
a
the
quick link.
agenda as well?
Click on the link, and it
I know.
opens up the
Hang on.
meeting
Let's
agenda.
clarify then. So what you're saying is that it's on a quick link and it's not actually publicized in the email.
Well, how else? That is how it's attached. It's still attached, Brent.
I just saying, if we're gonna lay this out that everybody opens one email and all the information's there,
That
it's
isn't
not
what
on the
we
email.
ever said, Brent. First of
That's what
all,
you guys said.
again, no, I was answering a
It's
question to
attached.
Kelly.
That's
It is attached. It's been attached. I answered Kelly's question on how to get something on the agenda.
Well,
You
I'll
want
go
to
in and
complain that
second.
the agenda is not attached, and you now want to complain about a way that it should be. If you
I'm
would like to motion to change how we add the agenda to the notice, go ahead and do it, and we'll put it up for discussion.
cool. I'm going to motion that, and then I'll also second opening the committee. Then
There was never motion made
yes,
about
there
that.
was.
We
Leah
need-
made it.
I did make the
Oh,
motion.
perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did anyone want to second Brent on
I'll second.
changing? Okay.
Who seconded?
Aaron.
Aaron. Okay.
Yeah.
Change it to what? What is the exact motion, Brent?
The exact motion is that all meeting agendas be publicized both on the website as well as in the emails in a plain written text to where it can be read by all members.
I
I'll be
don't.
honest. I didn't look at the email. I clicked the link and joined.
Yeah, because
So
that's the thing is
I
nobody's gonna
can't
look
say
at it.
anything about it. Um, so back to the standards and the standards. I'm head of the marketing committee, so I feel like my job is organizational growth and basically selling the organization to the general public and what is the value of joining the group. Um, Aside from having the rights to put the ACBA logo on your merchandise and your website and your business cards, um, currently without a finalized draft of the SOP, there is no real value outside of being able to put the logo on, your website or your business cards. So I feel, in my position as in the marketing committee, that is a selling point. That is something when I approach people about joining the organization because I am heavily driven in growing this organization. And there's a good portion of the members that I did talk in a lot of detail with that the newer ones that join because of that. And I'm finding myself in a position where I have nothing left to sell other than just join this group. So maybe I got out of line with a few comments, but it's something I'm very passionate about. I do want to see this group to grow to thousands of members, because this is a small portion where we're like 100 something members. I don't remember the exact number. I know it was said in the beginning. But I know that I ship quail eggs to several thousand people every year that are not members of the ACBA. So that is more potential members. And then the more members we have, the more people that's going to be beating down the doors on these poultry shows to get us in there. Then that's going to be more people raising quail. In case y'all haven't known, I am very passionate about getting more people to raise quail. I don't care where you get the quail from, but I want everyone to have quail. Everyone in this country to have quail. Let's get rid of chickens. I'm not a chicken fan, so let's Let's just take over and we gonna allow chickens in quail shows. That's my goal. But
Aaron,
no matter
are you gonna make the speeches to change like HOA and other regulations so that everybody in America can have quail?
yeah, let's do it. Um,
That would be
Just
awesome, honestly, to have a resource. But I'm gonna back up because we have three things on the table.
okay,
Aaron,
I'm gonna shut up.
do you want to make, no, it's okay. Do you want to make a motion to pass the SOP?
Yeah.
Okay, I've
We
Oh,
had someone else actually in the comments. Frank wanted to make a motion to adopt the current SOP, so we only need a second.
Perfect,
um
second.
oh,
so I, and I can step in later if it's going to be better there. If you
Well,
want to open floor for discussion, but when I was on
hang
the
on. It's a first and a second on the table.
okay,
So that means the motion to pass the SOP, we can put it up to vote.
I want to discuss that motion before it gets voted on, as I was on the original standards committee that wrote it. I did a majority of the writing on it, and I stepped down. And I stepped down as president. No hard feelings there. I know before, originally when we wrote it as just a type standard, as a way to start to get into shows. The next step, and the step that I think needs to happen, at least according to the APA, before so when we started creating a standard, the goal for the standard was to get into the APA standard of perfection, because that is what judges all of the major chicken shows. That has always been the goal for the standard, as well as establish industry guidelines and things like that. The type standard was a start. You need a type standard. You also need a color standard. And when I had stepped down, my thoughts were at least that the next steps were going to be to add a color standard. To pass just a type standard and call that a final standard without a color standard would be very, very rough. And it would not really be well approved by the APA, nor would it be able to be accepted by the APA. And it's okay for the ACBA to publish that. And if that's the route the ACBA wants to go, great. I would highly recommend against publishing that as a final draft until you have a color standard with it, or saying the complete SOP or anything like that until you have a color standard to go with it. And I know there, like, I believe I have one in my drafts that I started on and work and had at least started.
hey, Bree,
I
could I
don't know
stop
if it's
for a
gone
second?
anywhere. Yeah.
Leah, can you let Mason in? He accidentally
Oh,
got out. Sorry, Bree.
No, you're good. I see him.
you're all good.
Okay.
So I don't know where that color standard is at. I don't know.
Yeah.
Michael
I
may have
don't.
been working on it in the
He
background.
was working on it the last I talked to him, because he had discussed with quite a few different judges on how they thought that it would be best to group the colors. So
I do know that Michael has been present to at least one show, maybe more, and has been discussing the standard with the judges.
I don't know if he has or has not, but I'd highly recommend reaching out to Paul Monteith. I've talked to him quite a few times, quite a bit. He's the head of the standards committee. He's the one that has basically final say so at any point with the APA standards. I don't know where that's at. I know he knows about the quail standard. He's read it over a few times. I've talked with him on it. This would be over a year ago now, so I don't.
What would we reach out to talk to him about, Bree, exactly?
I would, any draft that you're gonna have, I would send it to him to review. If you have questions on any color standard that's been written, if he's working on stuff and he's asking for advice or how to set it up or how to group colors, the first person I'd be going to would be Paul Monteith, because he's.
When was the last time that you sent it out to him?
That I talked to him, to Mr. Monteith.
Well, you said that you would we're discussing the motion. You said that
Yeah.
you would recommend sending it to Paul because that's okay. Have you sent it to Paul before?
The originals, like the type standard, yes. Any of my color standards or things, no. That was
Not yours. I'm talking about the
No.
ACBA's.
Yeah, the ACBA's, as it stands for just type, yeah. I don't, not any of the recent changes. I haven't read the standard recently, and I haven't really done anything with it the last year. So I'm no longer on the committee, so I don't know where it's at and if he's seen any changes, if there are any changes. But
So
if he's,
I'm just confused. So you're
yeah,
saying that there's not a color type on the standard, but you haven't reviewed it recently. Is there a color type on the standard?
there,
It's no.
Okay.
not unless it's been added and not talked about.
That was
which
the
is
last
also an
piece.
I'm
option.
looking at it right now. Nothing's on it.
Okay. So, and then you're saying to send it out to Paul because he's a great resource, but you haven't sent it out to him, or you only sent the type out to him?
I would say if Michael is writing a color standard before he publicizes that, or if he has questions on building the standard and he's talking to people about it, I would reach out to Paul Monteith. And
Okay.
I'd say before we publish anything, it should go to him. Like he should at least have, like, he may have comments or feedback on it again, on the type and the color. But if before we publicize anything, especially if there's been any changes, that it should be going through APA standard committee as well.
Do you have contact information for him that you could share?
Yep.
Awesome.
I can pull up the email. He's also on Facebook. He comes regularly to most shows. I've talked to him in person and online, and he's pretty easy to get a hold of on both.
Does anybody else have any discussion? Frank, do you still want to move forward with your motion based upon what Bree said?
Well, I respect what Bree said, but I also agree with Aaron. I think that something needs to be put on paper, more or less, and it doesn't have to be an absolute final, situation. It's not as though we can't come back and modify or amend in the future if somebody decides to put in a color standard or even change what you currently have written. But at least that would put folks like Aaron in a position where he can reach out, and now we have something at least formally that we can rely on.
Right. So you want to keep the motion tabled, then I think at this point it's a vote. Leah?
Okay. So let's take a vote to accept the current SOP.
Say all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed?
Aye.
All right. It looks like it's going to go forward then.
Okay, now, if I remember right, my notes are right. Aaron, I think we just unilaterally decided to open that committee, which was never supposed to be closed anyways. So I guess I'm gonna say fix whatever error was made and now it's open. Or clearly mentioned with an email. So somebody needs to get Kelly the email. Hey, Kelly, are you ready for my email? Or any other member? So it's
Yeah,
Melissa.
I'm not opposed to my phone number's on my website, so I'm not opposed to my email being in my bio on the website.
I can do that, or I can just put the general like information on how to email the general board. That seems easier.
It is easier.
It is the easiest, yeah. We all can access
different
it.
access to the website. So when I go to type it in, it pulls up like the back end for me. So I rarely see it from the end that everyone else sees it. So that's why I didn't know.
It's okay.
There was a way to do that. I only know how to create an email for everybody, and that's kind of all I know how to do.
And I think opening up that committee, if whether it was closed or not before, but I mean, just on this, we have just a small percentage of the membership that's in attendance right here, and I wouldn't be scared to say we have over 100 years of COIL experience just in this small sampling of the organization.
Okay, so Kelly's gonna add it already, so that's a done issue. What was the third thing? Did you wanna do we want to put on the next agenda? Because now this is way beyond our time frame. A lot, I mean, I would say for this discussion, it just seems like we may need to discuss more who we want on the committee, et cetera.
The
What do we
standard thing, do you want me to, like, all the rest, I just don't want it to look wonky. Like all the rest of them say who the chair is. Like, you want me to take all that off, or you want me to just not put a chair for the standards committee and just say it's open?
No, because the chair right now
It's still Michael, right?
is still Michael. And I
Correct.
think what Aaron's saying is add more people and add more experience. Is that right, Aaron?
Yeah, open it up because I mean we have
Open
a
it up
ton
to
of
new
people.
members.
Yeah, we have a ton of people in here that, like I said, we have a combined total of over 100 years of quail experience, and probably just the people in here we have, close to 100,000
Mhm.
birds.
Okay, so I'm
So
good to
I
put
think
Michael as the
everyone's
chair.
opinions are valid.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
Kelly. Leah and Rebecca, how are you guys? I don't remember because I wasn't able to be at the last meeting, but how are you assigning members to committees? Are they reaching out to you? If I'm
So,
hearing right, interest.
when they join, they get an auto welcome email
Right,
that Kelly put together,
right.
and it's listed on there with the different committees that they could reach out to join if they were interested in possibly joining.
Okay, so once it gets added, um, let's see what interest you get, right? And then I guess if there's a whole bunch of interest, I guess we can come back and vote on it or whatever everybody wants to do. But until it gets put back on, and people reach out, I'm not sure, Aaron, where we go. What do you suggest?
Say it again. I had went and grabbed me
Well,
another
right
water. I
now,
talked too much, Melissa.
it's okay. So right now it's being added. So right now it looks like the next step would be for members to reach out for their interest. That would be the next step.
Yes.
Okay. So anybody who's interested, I guess, reach out. You want them to reach out to you, Leah?
They could touch base with me, and I'll just give Michael the heads up that they might reach out to him as well.
Okay.
This would be a great thing to put on our new Facebook page and, both the page and the group. These are all of the committees are things that we can be posting as part of, reaching out and whatever to get more interest in things. So, Aaron, as head of, the media and stuff like that, these are definitely things that you can, post about and get more, drive more interest to those things. As for the previous SOP, just being in draft form didn't mean that it wasn't being used. That SOP is actually the one that was used at the original, the show that was done 2 years ago that Lindsay put on, and would be the same SOP that would be used, for this upcoming show and the shows that Bree had been to. So, just so everybody knows that just being in draft doesn't mean that it wasn't useful.
Well, Red Stick Poultry Club laughed us out of the room when we approached them with a draft. And that's a huge show in Baton Rouge. It's usually held December, January every year, and they laughed us out. And reaching out to local, which not local to me, but semi-local 4-H organizations, that they have a huge interest in Louisiana, but they want to see, they want to see more than what we offer. And I think, I said a bunch, we have a ton of experience between all of us. I think we could put pencil to paper and really expedite things. I mean, maybe Michael's overwhelmed doing it by himself. I know there was some overseas people assisting with it as well. And I mean, look, nobody's getting paid for this. So it's not top priority for everyone. I mean, most people in here, except for like Ava, has a job. Um, but um, I think with more people involved, we could expedite it and take the load. So it's not on one person or two people to try to do it because most of us race quail, have a job and do that. So it can get overwhelming. And I would just like to see it move forward. Some kind of progress because I've been in the organization for over a year and I haven't really seen much forward progress. And I would really like to see growth. And I think we're at a position right now within the organization. And if you look at histories of other organizations, that either we grow or we fold because we've been stagnant for so long. And I do not want to see it fold. Also, I don't want to see another organization come up and um, throw out just a put together SOP and then they were first and they have it and you know I mean you business wise you understand what I'm saying, I'm sure. So I think with our experience I think we could just put our heads together and just get it done. And I agree with a lot of what Bree said on the color side of it because I mean I don't think there will ever be a full list of colors written on paper. I don't think there's enough papers to do it.
There was a discussion about grouping them kind of like they do some like the Old English game bantams, where they just did like just a basic like group just
Yeah.
to make it simpler.
Most of that was in the show committee, which is something I'm a part of because of the virtual show. And to be honest, and I'm just gonna be blunt, the
Yeah.
virtual show right now is the only show big enough that really matters for classifying colors. When it comes to a color standard, what the APA is going to expect is to have one single color recognized, and that's it. And everything else can get added later, and they can get classified and they can get grouped later. I know back when I was on it, again, this is over a year ago, the idea was to start with Pharaoh and to just build, because we know we have a good understanding of Pharaoh and what it should look like, and to start with that and to match it to the APA color standard template that they have, and and just start with the one accepted one, and everything else you follow very similar procedures of the APA, where you have to have so many breeders breeding for so many years before you start writing the standard and things like
So
that.
it sounds
That's
like
where the thought was. I don't know where it's at now.
Bree and Aaron, you guys should be a part of this committee, and all these things can be discussed then. Sounds like this is stuff for discussion with the committee.
I would be interested. I personality wise, I don't think it would go well, but I don't. Yeah.
Well, be that
Yeah.
as it may, then
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, if you want to get your voice out, I definitely.
I'm willing to help, and if people have questions or want to reach out, I don't know, and I can talk with Leah about this later too.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
We can do that. Brent?
Does anybody have any questions about how to get something on the agenda?
What's an agenda?
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Okay, I'm glad we all understand that now. Okay.
You're doing great, Melissa.
Yeah.
Brent, did you still have your hand up?
Yep.
Okay.
I would like to motion off piggyback off of Aaron, that instead of doing a quarterly meeting, we go to monthly, so that we can actually be able to observe and ensure that stuff's actually getting done.
So are you making that motion?
Yep, that's my motion.
One second. So
Kelly
your motion
seconds.
is to go to monthly meetings.
Correct.
Who seconded that?
Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly.
Plus, we all like each other, so it'd be more fun to do monthly meetings. I mean, well, sort of like each other sometimes.
Leah, you want to put it up to vote?
Yes, I'll put it up to vote For those who are in favor, say aye.
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 I,
Those opposed?
I'm
Aye.
abstaining.
I'm sorry.
I'm abstaining. I'm not voting on it.
I'm not voting either.
So how many people do we have currently
Same
right
here.
now?
I'm sorry.
How many members do we have in the meeting right now? Can you tell me? I think
19 participants.
19. So we heard from, I counted 4. And Bree, did you abstain or did you say aye? I don't understand a
I
head shake.
abstained.
Okay, so we have
Sorry, I abstained.
You're fine. We have 3 abstaining and 4 for it, and that
So
means that's 12 people who haven't voted.
Christina voted in the comments. She's sick right now. She's actually, her name's showing up as mine. We're
Okay.
separate members. We have separate memberships.
No, that's fine. So that's 5, 4.
Maybe you didn't hear me. I
Six.
voted against.
Oh, 5, 4, 1 against, 3 abstain.
An opinion that maybe if we're and I mean, I am a new kid on the block. I just am a project manager at heart. If we're wanting to monitor progress and considering monthly meetings as opposed to quarterly, what about like a monthly progress update email or post or something? Because not only then is it a meeting, it's also more trackable and would probably give more visibility and accountability for all of us to progress if it's in that format.
I agree with that.
And the point of this meeting could have been an email.
I agree.
You have those too?
Oh, all day long.
I did a Teams right before this with the same thing.
Yeah, I think an email or a post or something like that with like with good detailed progress notes.
To
And
the entire membership, correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
That also catches more people's eye to where they might be like, you know what, I think I want to help with that committee or I want to help with that. It would be just a little
I
more
agree.
open, maybe.
Yeah, and to
I like that
Aaron,
idea.
to your point, that gets it out more since that's really our goal is to try and get participation and more, well, more membership participation. I think that gets it out more. And then those people who want to make changes are prompted to do something because my view of this is it's been open for 2 years and nobody has said anything. Maybe they didn't know. Maybe there are new members that didn't know and didn't ask the question. So I think that definitely, I really like that idea. It definitely gets it out there. And then if nobody says anything, those people who don't speak up, how do you complain, right?
Exactly.
And now it's in writing.
And honestly, this is a meeting with 19 people. We've gone over and derailed a half a dozen times. So we want to accomplish more with more people.
I agree.
It's just going to roll a snowball.
I agree.
Frank had a question about do the committees meet separately? So each committee's got a group chat and they discuss amongst themselves, and then they pretty much then update me or the other e-board members on where they're at. I hope that answered your question, Frank.
Yeah, and then Frank, for me to answer your question on the marketing committee, um, we usually meet like after the meeting, after our quarterly meeting, we'll meet, or sometimes it's in our group chat, and we'll just discuss. And then actually, she was here earlier, Celeste, that she reached out, expressed interest in joining the marketing committee, so she's going to be in on my next one, and then. Actually, I had reached out to Kelly about doing one together because it's kind of like what she does with the welcoming and what I do with the marketing's kind of side by side. So like we have to have some interaction as well. And then it's kind of like um I don't run it like a typical committee. I mean, it was, I guess it's more like a true committee. It's like, hey, what do you think would work to gain spark interest and And then we just kind of spread out and tackle different things.
All right. I
So
think
I'm trying
Brent
to keep us on task, you guys. I'm sorry, but first of all, we're going really long,
overtime.
but
Yeah.
yeah, and we're off task. So Brent's motion does not carry. So there's that. 5 out of 19, even with 1 no and 3 abstaining, you still don't have enough support. With that being said, the monthly, I'm gonna move. Who was speaking? So apologize about the monthly progress update. Who was?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
That was
I,
my big
I'm,
mouth. I have
Lindsay,
no problem helping. Like
Lindsay, do you officially want to make a motion? Because I will second it. Otherwise, I'll motion it.
dude, first meeting for making motions. Look at me doing stuff. Sure, yes, ma'am.
Go girl. Perfect. So there's a motion now on the floor for monthly progress updates from the standards committee. And
I think all the committees should be
I
held
was trying to
responsible.
get it from everybody. It was not aimed or directed at the standards committee.
I think
This
everybody
entire organization, everybody needs to be more involved. We've already found out that nobody wants to send the email and nobody wants to send the chat, but yet we've actually made corrections. We've made stuff here. That was what my initial motion was for. It was not directed at standards. It's for the entire
okay,
organization.
Lindsay, what was your motion?
Let me summarize all my gibberish. Monthly progress update communication sent to membership for progress and standard, not progress and standards, progress in, I don't know, new business, something like that, for all committees to be sent to membership monthly.
On what date do you want to do it? Just so it's really specific.
I would say before do we have a finance committee?
No.
Okay. I'm also an accountant by trade. So
Okay.
I was gonna say otherwise you'd want to include a financial report, but it would be kind of a state of the club monthly update. We're gonna just pull the 15th of the month out of our rears.
Perfect. All right. So the motion that's currently on the table, which I'm seconding, is a monthly progress update from all committees on the 15th of each month, accessible to all members.
And then
So I will put that up for vote. So the monthly meeting progress
add
for all membership to be sent out on the 15th of each month. And I just need a motion to or
Should
vote
we
for that.
add should we add where that needs to be sent out via email or on the Facebook page?
It
If
says
we
Yeah.
accessible to all members is what's open right now. So accessible to all members is either, right? All
Right.
members have access to Facebook, all members have access to
To
email.
email.
Just
So
wanted to be sure that while we're getting specific, we got all the way specific.
yeah, that's why it says accessible to all members. I don't want to pin. Yeah. So do you want to just call the vote, Leah?
Yeah. Those who approve say aye.
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 Hi.
Aye.
hey, is it too late to add that we want our committee report information to be given to whoever is going to be compiling that update by the first of the month? That way they have from the
They can
first
send it to me.
Perfect.
Yeah, they can send it to me.
And we'll have them send it by the first. That way you've got till the 15th.
Oh, sorry, it's still up for votes. Are there any more ayes? Okay, Leah.
All right. Any opposed? Nay. So is that enough for to push it through?
With no opposition, yes.
Okay. All right. Does anybody else have any other business to bring up?
I'm going to move to close the meeting.
I'm going to as well.
Who seconded it? Sorry.
Me. I was faster than Leah.
I know, right? All right. And it is, what time is it? Because I'm in a different time
I've got
zone.
7:49 on my clock.
Perfect. All right. Thanks,
All right.
guys.
Have a good night, everybody.